go. Here we go. Victory Formation Podcast. Be back in this thing. We took a little hiatus. Eddie, you glad to be back?
Hell yeah, I'm ready. How you guys out there? We missed you. Did you guys
We
miss
back
us?
at it. We are back at it. I know y'all missed us. You don't got to say it because we already know you. We already know you did. So you don't even got to say it. You don't even got to say it.
We got so much to talk about though. That if we talked about everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks, we'd be on here for
4-hour podcast.
If we talked about everything that happened today, man, it'd be like
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We had a big day today.
So we got a few things that we want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with some hot news. We can get to the combine and stuff later. Let's talk with some hot news.
Hot news.
What you got for us? You are Cowboys insider. You got a spy in the locker room. What's going on?
Well, we all thought that today was the deadline. We heard about that they were going to put Osa on that tag, or they were going to sign him, and everything pointed to us tagging him, right? Because
knowing our team, yeah.
I mean, historical data would have shown that Jerry would have drug his feet on this and everything, but
man,
it was like 3:00 today that we got the news. Osa signed that extension, 4 years. Is it 4 years? 81.
Yeah, 4 years, $81 million.
Here we go.
Hey, and that saved us quite a bit of money from the tag. Like the tag would have been around 25, 26 million when it all came out. So
and that would have all went to the cap too.
Mm-hmm. And
so
that's what I was going to say is like that. Now that he's signed, I think they can push a lot of that to bonus and.
Oh yeah, they'll probably get that number down. Like when they can get it somewhere between like 10 and 15 million to count towards the cap. So we're good.
They just did that for and then right after that, 10, 15 minutes later, news CeeDee restructures. CeeDee restructured, saved us $20 million towards the cap this year.
The good thing is, it's not like when they made his contract, they factored that in already. They knew they were going to restructure it. So when they did it, so the one thing I'm glad about is that CeeDee's not almost in his career guy. Like I can foresee him playing out that contract and being effective throughout the whole contract, to where we're not like, man, he's like the Marion Barber contract killed us one. Like he was good for 1 year.
Back in the day, we would sign people. We would extend them for like 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like the last 2 years had the majority of their money and everything. We're like
dead cap number. Oh man, it's that was telling you, we used to be like
old Eddie DeBartolo 49ers special.
I always use, as much as I love them, rest in peace. I always use Marion Barber as the poster child for this. Had a great season. I mean, it wasn't like he was the best running back in the league. He had a good season for him. Mm-hmm. And they signed him to a ridiculously long, expensive contract. He only ended up playing 1 year, and we had so much dead money because we had to release him right after. He was washed by then, and it's like we've had PTSD since then. And I'm like, I don't want any more contracts like that. So unless you're gonna do it, you sign somebody who gonna be here at least 2 or 3 years.
Well, I think that we kind of got smart with it too, because we put verbiage in like with Steele's extension.
Yeah.
I mean, we have. He was really under contract for only 2 years because this year we can release him and next year we can't.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to release him this year.
I'm pretty sure. So the numbers I've been seeing is we can get up close to $90 million in cap relief. So there's a new cap. I think it's what, 227 million. You remember?
270 something.
270. Hold on, I can tell you right now. Hold on.
We have a lot. That's all I know.
Salary cap NFL.
And it's gone up the last 4 seasons, like pretty significantly.
It's 279 million.
Crazy.
So it went up a lot, and so we saved 90. I mean, close to 90 with these moves. We haven't done them all yet, but these are the moves. The first thing they did was sign Osa. Mm-hmm. That was one. The second thing they did was restructure CeeDee Lamb. That was 2. They can restructure Dak, which they will because they built that in too. Mm-hmm. And then they can release Steele, a post-June 1st cut, and that will get us close to $90 million in cap savings.
You know what? Another thing that I read that I keep seeing is a lot of people are like, "Yo, where's this all-in kind of mentality that we have?" If you looked on our roster, a lot of the free agents, it's crazy. It's like 17, 18 players that actually
Man,
played significant roles on our team that are going to be a free agent.
our free agent list is ridiculous.
And a lot of people, back months ago, they were like, "How are you going to re-sign all your team? You're not going to have anybody." But now, looking at what Steven said with the what is it, aggressive or the selectively aggressiveness,
Yeah,
right?
selective aggressiveness sounds like a new era of WWE.
Yeah,
Selective
it really does.
aggressiveness.
Like with Cena being a heel, but
Yeah, man.
the fact of it is we're going to have a lot of turnover.
Oh,
It looks like they're going to let a lot of these guys kind of walk, and we're going to replace
yeah,
them and spend money this year because
yeah.
I mean, it's just like there's no backup receivers. I mean, there's a few, but
Nothing.
like the big ones
Yeah,
that played aren't going to be there. There's the linemen are gone. Defensive linemen are going to be gone. There's going to be no safeties basically. Like our corners that spent like Jordan Lewis, are we going to re-sign him or are we not?
man.
What are we going to
I
do?
did see a thing where they want to bring back Anger and Sieg, the
Yeah, I saw
punter
that.
and the long snapper. They put a tender on
They put a
Turpin.
they put a second round tender on Turpin. So
Yeah, on
if
Turpin.
anybody signs him, then we get a
And
second round
nobody's gonna
pick
sign
off
him for a
him too.
second rounder.
But
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
they need to give us something. So
He's valuable, but he's
he-
not second round valuable.
he's the best punt returner in the game right
He's
now.
the best. He's the best returner in the
I
league.
mean,
So
kicker.
so he's not nothing. So he's not nothing. But he's not second rounder,
I think
person.
I don't think I think that I don't think they overvalued him.
I don't think
Not
so either.
especially with him being able to play receiver too. So I think second rounder, you don't find speed like that. It's just the size that is bringing
Yeah.
him down. So I don't know. Well,
And then and then he did pretty good when they put him in the spot duty, like running back,
yep, they had plays for him.
or when they, give him the little screens or whatever. He contributed. So it wasn't like he was Devin Hester where he was only a returner.
Yeah,
They tried hard to make Devin Hester a receiver, just didn't work out. But he
he
was the
was
best returner in the league
he
by
was a
far. So
cornerback in college and high school. That's what's
yeah,
weird that they try to put him at
and then he
receiver.
swapped, and then they tried to make him a receiver. He just couldn't do it, but they couldn't get rid of him because the value he brought as a returner. But to me, Turpin is that level of returner, and he can actually do stuff once he has the ball in his hand
Yeah,
on offense. So I wouldn't mind bringing him back at all.
I think the next domino to fall is going to be in the Micah extension.
Micah
I'm sure
Parsons. There you go. We got to.
They
We
already
got to.
started talking, and I think
Yeah.
by these, I mean, opening up money and getting this done, and I think that's what's gonna. It's either gonna be Dak restructure or Mike is gonna be extended. Those are gonna be
Yeah.
the two. Hopefully, I mean, we
So
talked about this last week, right?
the only reason we're going to see a bunch of signings is because we have to sign people. We have so many free agents. We have to sign people. So it's not like, oh, they have a year we're extending these people. No, it's like you said, 17, 18 people. Their contract is done. Like they don't have a team. They're not on the team.
It's
So
like,
we have to sign people. We don't have a choice.
and we didn't even have a chance to. I think we should touch base on this a little bit. Was it's almost like our coaching staff, right? We couldn't dilly dally and wait until we could sign a coach here and there. We had to get it done quickly.
They had to.
And they
Yeah.
did it.
Because
we got one.
because they have senior bowls and the combine. Like you can't let all that go by and then hire. No coach is going to take that job if they missed all that stuff. So they had to hire somebody quick. It's just the nature of the game. So like they were forced to hire people, which I'm glad because I'm shocked they signed Osa. I'm shocked there's like in this deeper talks with normally Jerry be giving us we'll reach out,
That's another
deadlines,
thing.
make deals or
Jerry
whatever
did not-
crap he tried to.
Jerry
Yeah, he didn't
canceled
everything.
that.
He's
Jerry
gone.
canceled
Like,
his. He usually has that
he didn't talk.
Senior Bowl where he talks it about and he has his bus behind him.
Yep.
They
And I'm
canceled
like,
it on him, so I think his priorities are a little bit different this year. So
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
what you think about the coaching staff that we brought in, and I'll give you my.
So it's like I started off low when they hired Schottenheimer. I started off low. I was like, what in the world? Like normally when they hire someone who doesn't have that much experience, it's because he's the hot coach, kind of like the Ben Johnson or the Slovic was a hot coach, but he fell off. But anyway, like kind of like that.
Mhm.
There was no hype from what I heard. Nobody even interviewed Schottenheimer. So I was at a low point. I was like, man, what are we doing? But then when he started making his hires for DC, OC, offensive line, like the more, being in the Discord, y'all telling me about these people. So I dug into him and I'm like, he is really putting together an impressive coaching staff. So then my little by little, like the little thing when you're making money, it goes up and up and up.
Was that
And that's how it was.
what's that game show that we all watched when we were younger? Price is Right.
Yeah, the price is
rock
right.
climbing
So
one.
yeah. So by the time he finished his staff, I was totally fine with it. I listened to some people who I trust, like the Broaduses and the Watches and all those. And by the time they were done, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this coaching squad. What you think?
I think that sometimes when your mom went to the store when she had like $20 left, she came home with some bomb dinner, right?
Man.
And it was like, how
made
did
it
you
work?
do this?
Yeah.
So I think like the ingredients, we had some ingredients in the pantry that we hadn't used in a little bit, and for some reason, Schottenheimer has not come up on a lot of people's radar as a head coach. He's been an offensive coordinator. He's been a coach for like 26 years or something like that, right?
Yeah, and he's been in the league. It's not like he's Jeff Saturday and they just hired him out of nowhere.
Yeah. But the thing about it is like he has NFL blood. Like his dad was an NFL coach, one of the best, and he's been an assistant for such a long time. He just hasn't gotten his shot. I think every time there's like the door just closes behind him, and he's just moved on to be like a coordinator or a quarterbacks coach because he was ready in Seattle. He was ready.
Yeah, after he revived Russell Wilson's career, like a lot of people don't realize, he was when the year Russell Wilson almost won the MVP, he was the guy behind it. He was the reason why Beast Mode.
And Russell talked shit about him about it, and said that he was trying to take a lot of his game away, and say that he wanted to run the ball. But anyways, I mean that's all hearsay.
That's the reason why you don't hear a lot of Russell Wilson to the Cowboys as a backup, because they don't like each other. I don't think Russell Wilson likes him because he likes to run the ball, and Russell Wilson wants the ball in his hands to pass, and so
it's all about who you have on the team too at the time. Too.
Exactly.
It could be. It could have been like Seattle had like our team last year where you just didn't have the ability to run, even though you wanted to.
You just didn't. Yeah, you wanted to. You just couldn't. So
my whole thought process on this coaching staff is we ended up with I believe one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL right now. One of the youngest and brightest. We didn't get a Ben Johnson. We didn't get the DQs of the world with all the coordinators and everything. It looks like we handpicked how the best coaches that will all have kind of the same mentality. The offensive coordinator that we signed, the offensive line coach from the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
He's
really
in the last
good.
3 or 4 years. He's been in talks of people trying to interview him here and there, and the Cardinals have actually spent a lot of money to keep him every year. And even this year, they were pretty pissed off that he left.
Yep.
And then the offensive line coach that we got, that was the offensive coordinator for Kansas State. If you follow his coaching career and not just what he's been able to do, he's actually changed a lot of how running backs and linemen work together and attack the field. So he's going to be coming with a lot of good ideas, working with our offensive coordinator, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I like it. One thing I like about the staff is I feel like everyone they hired has something to prove because they've been doubted. Like people not looking at them like they should be, except the guy from the Cardinals. He was kind of in high demand.
Even him, like he wasn't Ben Johnson. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Slowick.
He wasn't one of the top
like
ones.
this guy is the next guy that's going to change the NFL. No.
Yeah.
And as you can see, like Slowick fell off in 1 year.
He did. Like, man, I think they didn't they release him? Like, let him go?
Well, I don't know if
I think they let him go. But yeah, it's like
it's good if they let him go and he's not on a team right now because that's really crazy.
Man, I'm almost positive I saw something about
you need
let
to
me
find
see.
it. But
Yeah.
so let me just finish up just a little bit. I got a little bit left. The crazy thing about this is is that I personally have connection to two Cowboy coaches. Like it's just weird. Junior Adams, the new wide receiver coach and the passing game coordinator. He's coming from Oregon, where he was the offensive coordinator at Oregon. But I played against him in high school, and he was amazing. But what he's been able to do in college, if you look at the receivers that he's had under his, like he helped create Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
He helped create like all these receivers that are changing the game right now. He had a hand in it. He's so amazingly smart. What our coaches have said why they brought him in was he's able to explain to a player what he wants him to do and just like relate to how they're learning. It's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Like it's not magic. He's not coming. He doesn't have this, idiot's guide to football that nobody else has.
Mm-hmm.
He just has a way of being able to communicate with these guys and
it's a good coach.
And teach them. Yeah, and that hasn't been in the NFL yet. He's coming from college. The other coach that I have a connection with is it's kind of crazy that we signed him too. Was our new quarterbacks coach? I don't know what they're naming him, right? But he's coming from being fired from the Browns. What's his name?
Stefanski?
No. Who I'm talking about? How we signed? What's his name?
I know you're talking about. I just don't know his name. Hold on.
Yeah, it's stupid though, because that's funny because I played with him in high school, and so the connection between these two coaches is insane. That I know them and that they're actually going to be interacting with the players on the sideline that we all sit and watch every day. It's crazy. Our defensive side.
Oh man, I love Eberflus. Like I was a big. I wanted him to be our defensive coordinator when he didn't. When he moved to the Colts. No. When he moved to the Colts, because he was our linebackers coach, and they brought in Dan Quinn, which I wasn't that upset because when they brought in Dan Quinn, but I thought they were going to let him be the defensive coordinator. But he went up there. He's a very good defensive, like very good, not average or kind of good. He's a very good defensive coordinator.
And I think that he's going to be able to game plan. Like I think Zimmer was just he was in some tough shoes to be able to feel.
Yeah,
like
he was.
It was just chaotic, and there wasn't no money was spent. It was just like, hey, you need to figure out what you need to figure out with what we got, and how. And then
he never got a chance to get. I mean, he got Kendricks, but that was it. Like he never got a chance to get his guys. He had to play with someone else's guys. Yeah. Hey, Slowick went to the Dolphins. The Texans did fire him.
Oh, really?
They fired him after the playoffs, and now he's the passing game coordinator for the Dolphins.
That's crazy.
It's
insane. Like, wow. The way that things can change when your quarterback gets hurt and your running back gets hurt. Right.
All right. So
and your receiver, right?
Yeah. So how happy should our new coaching staff be about this combine? Did you see any gems when you were watching it? For everybody to know, Eddie is our residential college guru. Like I don't know anything about college football. I watch it. I follow LSU, but I don't follow like players across the league. I follow people that are in my orbit. If they're not in my orbit, then I don't know. So I trust him to let me know. So he's about to break it down.
Changed is PFF and the fact that they were compiling all these stats of college because it wasn't like that before. Like you really had to
Yeah,
do
it
a
wasn't.
scout to be able to kind of get your hands on a lot of the stuff. So when PFF and PFN and all these companies got together and started, mass producing all this data for everybody, it was eye opening. Not a lot of people like to do it. Some people just like the game, right? But to
Yeah,
me, it's more of a game. It's like chess. Like there is a strategic advantage to knowing other things here and there. The combine, I think, to be honest with you, I think the combine has changed a lot. I don't think the combine is as important as it used to be.
yeah, it's
No,
not.
because pro days didn't used to exist as much as they do now.
Yeah,
Pro
only
days,
super duper stars used to have pro days.
maybe,
Now,
but if there was an issue, if somebody was hurt, that's when they had a
yeah,
pro day. And it
yeah,
was like a team had to, oh yeah, I guess we'll go and see you because we really
yeah.
like you. But nowadays, I mean, almost
Now,
the whole NFL's at each pro day, even if
yep,
you're not going to get a chance to draft him because he's throwing to other receivers that you don't get to see.
yep.
That's
Plus,
how
players agents like pro days better because they can control the
better.
situation more. Yeah,
You're getting thrown
as opposed
to,
to going
if
to the
you're a
combine.
receiver, you're getting thrown to by your quarterback that you've been thrown to for years. It's
Yep,
not some
chances
random.
are, yep,
Uh,
yeah,
it, you're also at home. You're comfortable. Your fans are in the stands if you want. You're in
yep,
an environment. You got to sleep in your bed last night. I mean, it's all different,
yeah.
and the environment's a lot different. So a lot of players nowadays will choose to, like this year. Gianti didn't do anything at the combine. He just showed up and
He
he waved.
did, yeah.
He didn't
He
need to
didn't
do
do
it.
anything. It was a couple big names. Like, yeah, I'm not going to the combine. I'm good.
Some guys really can really hurt their chances. I think that's
Yeah,
the thing is that you need to weigh out what's the value of this because there was a tight end. Who was the tight end this year? He was trying to run his 40 and he false started and as he was slowing down he sprained his ankle.
yeah. I saw
So
that.
he couldn't
They
run the
showed a
40.
picture of his ankle. It was gnarly. Yeah.
So I mean, little things like that happen all the time. The Ohio State quarterback, good Lord, did you see him?
Ah, he was so bad. Like, oh my
Really
God,
bad, bro. Those are the
so
kind of things
bad.
like I shouldn't have done anything because I guarantee you, if he goes into his pro day with the
Yeah.
receivers that he knows, he's going to light it up.
And back in the day, it used to help people. I still remember, like the gold standard of making money in the combine was Vernon Gholston. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Oh, yeah.
He used to play for Ohio State. Ended up going to the Jets. He was like middling, all right, but he had such a good combine. He vaulted into the top 5, and he
I
was
don't
a
know if you
bust
know,
from the go.
if you remember, just a couple years ago, when like CeeDee was pretty good in college. CeeDee
Yeah,
was a master uh, of yards after contact because that's what
yeah,
he was, right? He was
yep.
a tweener,
And
and
Yak,
he was on the cusp of being first or second round draft pick.
yep.
And then he went to the combine and he made that one catch where he jumped
Yeah, he
and
jumped
he made it
and
catch
yeah, and
out of bounds
yeah, and twisted around. Yeah, I
and
remember that.
he like did the somersault and shit and he bounced right back up and everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like that athleticism right there is not you
Man,
cannot.
I will always remember that draft only because I'm part of a dynasty league,
Yeah.
and we decide, hey, y'all want to do like a group chat and watch the first round of the draft? I'm like, yeah, I've never done that before, and it was the CD draft, CD Lamb draft. So once it got to who was it? The Raiders that took Ruggs,
Yep.
and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
CD Lamb might actually fall to us. I was
And
freaking
who
out.
was
They were
it
telling me to shut up.
traded up in front of us and they
It
grabbed
was
some?
Judy. Yeah, Judy got drafted by the Broncos, and Ruggs got drafted by the Raiders. And so, man, and then it was like
Who was
some
it?
other
Was it the Eagles that traded up in front of us and grabbed?
man. I can't remember.
I don't remember who it was.
I'm gonna
Somebody
look it up.
traded
But
up in
yeah,
front of us, grabbed somebody, and that left CD. And that's when I stood up in front of the window and I was like, "How about them fucking Cowboys?" And my wife was like, "Be quiet, quit yelling in the neighborhood." And I was like, "We're about to draft CD. You have no idea." Oh, that was amazing. So yeah,
yeah,
like the combine this year, there were some standouts. Some guys really made a big name for themselves, and the running backs. Since Gianti wasn't there, some of the other running backs had to kind of step up and and kind of showcase what they can do. Like
Oh man, yeah.
uh,
Hampton, the guy from North Carolina,
Hampton, I think probably took like a
he
majority.
he
He
took the
took some of those
title.
votes away from first RB1. Janty is obviously. I think no. I don't think anybody's going to pass up Janty for him, but there is arguments now that says this guy is. They're comparing the draft to the one where Gibbs was drafted second, but really turned out to be even a better.
Oh yeah, but turned out to be better than Bijan.
Yeah,
But
that's what they're saying.
the jury's still out. Bijan still has a chance because that guy ruined him just like he ruined Pitts.
He's a different kind of back, though. I mean, Gibbs in that offense is ridiculous, and I don't think if you put him in that Detroit offense, you would have the same success because Gibbs.
It's just one of those things where he just ended up in the right situation.
Yep, 100%.
Kind of like Mahomes with because they picked Trubisky over Mahomes.
Yep.
If Mahomes went to the Bears, he would not be Mahomes right now.
If he would have played right away and got thrown into the mix, probably.
Yeah, he would not be Mahomes. So it's like where you go matters. So I don't care how good you are, where you go matters.
There was some really big offensive linemen kind of stuck out because that is going to be something that we're going to be taking a look at. That's high up on our priority because RIP Zach.
So if you had to pick the top three, what position we're doing first 3 rounds?
If Janty isn't there, I hope we trade back or we pick a offensive lineman at 12 because there's some really amazing offensive linemen that are ridiculous right this second. But if we traded back into like the early 20s or the late teens, I would think that we're going to do offensive line, and that's what I think we need to do.
I say go best player available. I don't
want to handcuff ourselves and say best player available and pick fucking Burden as a wide receiver when you have a big huge hole in the offensive line. Now you pick the wide receiver 2, and that's great, but eventually you'll have to pay. I mean, it just makes more sense to put that investment in somebody that's going to be.
Yeah.
I just think that. Now it could be.
This is one of those times where I don't think we're going to be like shocked because like when they picked even Parsons, I don't think anybody's like Micah Parsons, like pick that guy, or when they picked like certain players or
Tyler Smith,
Frederick.
When we picked Tyler Smith, that was a big what? Who?
Yeah, that was a big one. I think after we make our pick, then we'll be saying. Yeah, I like this one. I think that whenever we do pick this time, I think we'll be satisfied in the first round. It might not be who we want, but I don't think we'll be like who this go around.
We'll do a mock draft soon because free agency starts on the 12th.
So we'll be focusing on free agency first because we still got time for the draft.
Starts in 8 days. 8 days.
Yeah, draft is in April. We got a long time.
The fact that free agency starts on the 12th this year, I have a better feeling. Like last year when it was coming up, I was like, there's going to be some guys here and there, and during that whole week, we're like, don't get excited because we're not going to sign anybody. We don't have any money. Yeah. We don't have any money.
Exactly.
Zero money.
Exactly.
I was like, we got to go smell what everybody was eating at McDonald's. That was about it. It was like
we had no money, and we still had a lot of players that were already signed. So it's like we had too many players. Like now, we're gonna have to be like I'm telling you, we have to sign people. We don't have a choice. We don't have a team right now. We have to sign people in free agency. Like even if all of our draft picks started, we still need to sign in the free agency.
If they didn't sign anybody in free agency in this first week, and we lost everybody, it's not the end of the world. We still would be able to sign anybody all the way up through the season. It's just that these are the top free agents that are going to go soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like we don't. I don't see anyone. I don't see anyone who we need to go break the bank for. Let me put it that way. I don't see anyone like that.
No, like people were freaking out today about the Jets releasing
Devontae Adams. Yeah. Now I wouldn't mind picking him, but I'm not paying top dollar for him. We're already paying top dollar for a wide receiver. I think we can get a blue chipper in the
problem is
draft.
that like with Cooper Kupp, if we trade for him, it's probably going to be a situation like what we saw with Debo, where it's like a 5th round pick to get him.
Well, we don't have to. They
But
released Devontae Adams.
What I'm saying.
Okay.
This is a big difference. With Cooper Kupp, his salary this year is like 14 and a half, and next year is 16, right?
Yeah.
So bear with me. So if we traded for him, we know we're renting him for 2 years.
Yeah.
With the other free agents like this that don't, they're going to get what their value is right now.
Yeah.
So he could sign a $26 million contract.
He could, yeah. I could see some desperate team signing him for that. Yeah.
So I don't think that we can afford something like that. I think that we need to either draft or find somebody like that.
Yeah.
Or I mean, that's the same thing that is going to happen with like the guy from Seattle. They want to trade
Metcalf.
They want to trade Metcalf, and he's not going to get. I mean, he's not going to get a restructured salary right away. He's going to get what he's being paid right now.
Yeah, he's going to want that or more.
You know what I mean? So I just think that I think that's the best financial way. Or Stephon Diggs is a free agent also.
Yeah, I don't like him only because he's coming off that injury. I don't like that.
It's a motivation thing with his brother too. So
I think we need because we don't need bottom of the. We don't need like average receivers because we have Lamb and we already have average. We have Tolbert, we have Mingo, and we have the other guy, the rookie we had that was doing pretty good, Flournoy. Yeah, so we have those guys. I think we need one big name, and then we have. I think we need one big name, and then we can start filling out the bottom with no name receivers.
I don't think they need to even. I think we have CeeDee, we have Mingo, and then we have Tolbert. So there's 3 players that can play.
Yeah,
Flournoy's on contract. He's gonna either be on practice squad or he'll be like the 4th or 5th. We should draft and sign somebody. So we should sign a free agent if we can.
I said Keenan Allen. He did pretty good. I like Keenan Allen.
Yeah, as long as he comes
route runner. Dak loves the route runners.
As long as he comes with his own doctor and his own waiver.
Yeah, I know, man. Put some adamantium steel in his bones or something.
That's the problem.
So make sure he's all right. But he did pretty good last year. He was actually pretty healthy last year for the most part. For him, he was healthy for the most part. Their offense was just abysmal. It was so bad. He was open a lot, and Caleb Williams missed him a lot. But and that's why I was like, we need him, and that's probably why he stayed healthy because he didn't even get to catch the ball to get tackled to get hurt. So that's why he probably stayed healthy all season. But who knows? Yeah. Chicken or the egg? But we'll see. But yeah, but anyway, but this is just our first show coming back. We want to ease on in there. We didn't want to give y'all the whole thing, just a tip so y'all can get ready for free agency coming up. We got the draft coming up. Summer, then training camp, then we got all that. We'll have y'all ready for the season. So by the time August comes around, that first preseason game, we'll be back to being excited about the Cowboys and hating the Eagles and hating the Giants and hating the Washington C words.
We didn't even have to talk about when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. We just let that pass.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad we were out for that. I'm glad we were out for that. But we back. We back up. So tell your friends, they come get a hit. First time's free. So we got some testers out right now. So see y'all come on and get it.
Yeah. So in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be talking about free agency. We're talking about draft selections and scouting, and what strategies. What we're gonna have some guests on from the Discord.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get people to come on here and give us, because we got a couple of draft gurus in there, college gurus. So I lean on those guys. They come to me for relationship advice, and I go to them for college football advice.
We're gonna do a mock draft. We
did one last year, so we're gonna do it again.
And so stick around. Make sure that you're following, subscribe to our channels and everything. This so that you get the alerts, because the information that we're going to provide is going to be quite
hot off the press.
Helpful, right?
Yeah, straight out the oven. Come get you a slice.
It's going to be that Cinnabon smell in the airport.
Oh man, it's like, it smells
The one
so
that
good.
they pump out.
It smells so good.
And I'm excited.
All right, Eddie. Tell the people bye so we can roll on out of here. It's dinner time.
You know how it is. Make sure that you're hugging and kissing everybody that you love. Saying good night. Don't go to bed angry. I love you, kids.
That's right. All right, y'all be good and holla.
Peace out, bro.